Gaza's banking system has been destroyed. So this is what the hunt for money now looks like. 2 years into the war, even the currency is falling apart. If you are lucky enough to get hold of any cash, basic goods can cost more than 50 times what they used to. When aid deliveries are blocked, as they were for months in 2025, a 1 kilogram bag of flour in Gaza can cost as much as $35, the most expensive on earth. But most people have drained their savings or can't get hard currency, so they risk their lives looking for aid in other ways. We've mapped out Gazans' daily battle to get food on the table as they run the gauntlet of money dealers, crippling inflation, and deadly aid distribution points. Before the war, there were 56 bank branches and 91 ATMs in Gaza. Now, 98% of them have been destroyed or damaged, according to the World Bank. Gaza has no currency of its own. People here use the Israeli shekel. And since the start of the war, no new cash has been allowed in. So even the bills themselves are falling apart. With no new way to replace damaged bills, a small trade has emerged to repair them, using tape and glue.
اللي جاب الموضوع هذا في البلد تبعين العمولة الله يعطيهم الصحة اللي صاروا يخيروا بين المصاري بين الممزع والصحيح أجانس فبلشنا نلزق لقينا المصاري الناس كلها ممزع.
Phone payment apps have gained some traction during the war, but many vendors don't accept them. If they do, they charge more, a steep markup for going cashless. With no other options, people turn to currency dealers. Journalist Yasser Abu Wazna filmed one of the few spots in Deir al-Balah where they operate.
يعطيك العافية. يعطيك العافية. بدي أسحب سيولة. بكم؟ 49.
Currency dealers function like ATMs. People transfer money to their accounts through an app and get cash back. But for every shekel they withdraw, they lose half their money in fees. Before the war, dealers charged about 5%. Of the $200 that Yasser walked away with, most will go toward just a couple of basic items at the market, like flour and dates. Across the strip, many of these markets have been destroyed. Trade has shifted to improvised open-air stalls that pop up wherever it's deemed safe, and only if there's anything left to sell.
هذا 220 220 2 كيلو ونص. ايش امتى قديش لك مش جايب قليل؟ والله يمكن لنا فوق الشهر.
At their peak, goods have sold for as much as 10 times their pre-war prices. Take flour. Before the war, a 25-kilogram sack sold for about $10. When supplies hit their lowest, the same sack could cost up to $891. In the US, that amount of flour costs $90. This isn't just inflation. It's hyperinflation on a scale that rivals the worst economic collapses in recent history. But much of what you see on sale here was not meant to be for sale in the first place. What markets are left are black markets. This is all aid. It's supposed to be handed out for free to people facing starvation.
900 جمله، من وين بتشتري؟
من خان يونس بنروح بنجيب. ادور لك.
من المساعدات؟
صحيح.
انت اللي بتروح بتجيبه من المساعدات ولا بتشتري من
لا انا بشتري من الناس اللي بتجيبه من المساعدات.
There is one of 4 infamous aid distribution sites run by the so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or GHF. And for Gazans without the money to buy goods on the black market, it's either face the dangers here or face starvation. We spoke with Ihab Noor, who has been posting about his experiences at the distribution centers on social media.
أكيد الواحد لما بروح على المساعدات بكون رايح للموت يعني. الوضع صعب جدا يعني لا يوصف، مميت جدا ومخيف. كيس دقيق بجيبه مليان دم.
We also contacted Mu'tasim لساعدني. He told us that visiting the aid sites feels like a real-life Squid Game. You can see in this footage people take cover on the ground under Israeli fire until they're told to move.
I'm like afraid to death to go there. But we have no option. You know, choosing between going or not, it's luxury, you know, we have to go there. We have to eat.
Mu'tasim has been coming here for months, walking 2.5 miles to the nearest distribution center. Others make journeys of up to 7 miles on foot.
It's like a race line. We have to run so we can get any packages. We have to be there first to get anything.
Before the war, the UN ran a wide network of hundreds of humanitarian distribution sites across Gaza. But since March 2025, Israel has banned and restricted the work of the UN agencies, claiming some of its staff had ties to Hamas. Fewer sites combined with greater need have only increased the risks. According to the UN, at least 2,000 Gazans were killed while trying to collect aid between the end of May and the beginning of September 2025. Business Insider sourced this footage from a US contractor hired to oversee security at these aid distribution sites. In these images, we can see a tear gas grenade and hear gunfire. Many of those risking their lives come away empty-handed. For others, these are the rewards.
هاي محتويات تبون اللي بيموت عشان خلاص نص مع كورونا يا اولاد المفلوكة. هاي عدس، حمص، هذا رز عدس، و4 كيلو طحين، وقلية زيت، وقلية طحينية، طبعا الملح.
Around 500 food trucks used to enter Gaza before the war. By the summer of 2025, Israel only allowed about 80 to cross the border. Almost all of the trucks sent by the UN end up being looted. Those headed for the 4 GHF sites are given armed guards. This satellite image from July 13th shows crowds waiting for aid in Rafah. 2 weeks later in Khan Yunis, an image shows thousands of people engulfing a convoy of trucks. This footage, taken near the Zakim crossing in the north, captures the chaos on the ground.
وطلعت من الموت خشيت العناية لك أنا أختار لك الواحد عشان لقمة أولاد.
Just like aid from distribution centers, some of the flour taken from these trucks will go to the families of those who carried it home. But much of it will be sold to the traders we saw in the market. Most people trying to intercept the trucks will come away with nothing. The only other options are charitable soup kitchens or the kind of aid that might, very occasionally, fall from the sky. On the day Yasser filmed, A trickle of aid supplies reached Gaza through trucks and aid drops, so prices had actually dipped.
السكر امبارح كان ب 230 اليوم صار ب 50 بقدرة قادر.
It's the most basic rule of economics. When supply goes up, prices come down, but they are still far higher than before the war.
قبل الحرب قديش كان؟ قبل الحرب كان ب 10 شيكل 10 شيكل وهلقيتها ب 40.
People here say that the scarcity is deliberate.
طب ايش سبب الغلاء بنظرك انت؟ الحصار
Whether Gazans source their food from the market, the trucks, or the distribution sites, at every step, it's a battle. One that has become more expensive, more desperate, and more deadly.
It's the most painful thing to think about the opportunities we are missing, the days we are missing, and how our lives is gone, you know? What we've been through will stay with us forever.